Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Mark Foreman. Hope you enjoyed the disassembly of our new Armoire restoration project. All told, it took me about an hour. I tried to speed up the video as much as possible, cut out some of the slower parts and speed up other parts. Hope it wasn't too long, too boring for you. The metal rust removal went really well. Um, they're completely stripped down to the bare metal. I mean, so much so that I actually dried them off and let them sit, and they began to kind of rust just right there in the air. So I've got them soaking in an oil bath right now. You know, before I decide what I'm going to do as far as paint goes. I think they were originally painted black. I might go with black. I don't know. I was kind of thinking maybe some kind of copper, maybe like a bronze. I don't know. Let me know. Um, the wood is in relatively good shape. There are a few pieces that are going to have to be replaced, um, but most of it was in good shape. The top slats, because they were out in the rain and whatnot, taking the brunt of the weather, they're all pretty bent, tacoed as I called it. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. The uh, the drawers, they're in good shape actually. I couldn't really find anything significantly wrong with them other than those drawer pulls. Could you believe that? I mean, it was basically just a piece of wire wrapped around each end of the pull, shoved into a hole, and then they spread them out and pounded them into the back of the wood. Crazy, you know. I can understand rustic, but that's just I don't know. That I'm going to come up with a whole different way to have the drawer pulls put back on. Probably go with a whole different look for it. I intend to fancy it up a little bit. Had very basic beveling and chamfering and stuff. I think I can use my router and make it look a little cooler. I am going to plane everything down to the original wood color, and I can show you an example of that right here. This is one of the pieces that went on the front that surrounded the drawers, and here's the other piece that goes with it. I planed one of them down just to kind of see how it looked, and it brought the true color back. Uh, I'm pretty convinced it is in fact pine. So pine is actually a softwood, so there's going to be some preconditioning I have to do before I stain it. Otherwise, it's going to look all splotchy. Because I'm not convinced this was stained at all. Maybe, but if it had stain, it's all just kind of worn away over the years. Because it just to me looks like just dirty, dusty, grimy pine. Let's see what else. Here's a another example of sanding it down back to the original wood. This is the other bottom door insert. So I think it's going to look really good. I still have to sand all the edges of all this and everything. Speaking of finish, I really need y'all's input. Do I go back with kind of a lighter finish? Do I go with a darker, kind of like a stained finish? Or do I just put some kind of a coating on it that just shows you the natural wood color? Let me know. I'm still mixed on that. The few people I've spoken with seem to lean towards a darker stain, but we'll see. Moving forward, I have already removed all of the staples from these pieces here. I still have yet to take all the staples out of these pieces, and there are staples everywhere on all of the pieces. So before I start planing and jointing, I have to be sure I take every bit of metal out of these, because one hit with a nail will chip that router blade or my planer blade, and I have to replace them. Otherwise, you just have grooves start cutting into your wood. That's the problem with restoration. You have to get rid of all the metal. Then I'm going to, after I get the nails out, like I said, I'm going to do the planing, the jointing. I'm going to create the pieces that I need to replace, and then on to sanding, and then reconstruction, and then my little improvements that I have in mind. Video's gone long enough. This will be the end of episode number 2, and we're definitely on our way. We'll catch you later.